Hello, everybody. It's Isaac here, and today I want to share in the reading of the book of the Secrets of Enoch, and this is quite interesting because usually I talk more about what's in the Bible, but today I'm going into one of the books that are not in the Bible, and what I think is very interesting. So I'm going to start by reading in the chapter 3 of the book of the Secrets of Enoch, and it talks about him going to the heavens. So I'll begin, and it says here, of Enoch's assumption, how the angels took him into the first heaven. It came to pass when Enoch had told his sons that the angels took him onto their wings and bore him up onto the first heaven and placed him on a cloud. And there I looked, and again I looked higher and saw the ether. And they placed me on the first heaven and showed me a very great sea, greater than the earthly sea. They brought before my face the elders and rulers of the stellar orders, and showed me 200 angels who rule the stars and their service to the heavens, and fly with their wings, and come round all those who sail. And here I looked down and saw the treasure houses of the snow, and the angel who keep their terrible storehouses, and the clouds whence they come out and into which they go. They showed me the treasure house of the dew, like oil of the olive, and the appearance of its form, and of all the flowers of the earth. Further, many angels guarding the treasure houses of these things, and how they are made to shut and open. And now we're going into Enoch's when he was taken to the second heaven. And then those men took me and led me up on the second heaven, and showed me darkness greater than earthly darkness. And there I saw prisoners hanging, watched, awaiting the great and boundless judgment. And these angels were dark looking more than earthly darkness, and incessantly making weeping through all hours. And I said to the men who were with me, wherefore are these incessantly tortured? They answered me, these are God's apostates, who obeyed not God's command, but took counsel with their own will, and turned away with their prince, who also is fastened on the fifth heaven. And I felt great pity for them, and they saluted me and said to me, man of God, pray for us to the Lord. And I answered to them, who am I, a mortal man, that I should pray for angels who know it whither I go or what will befall me, and who will pray for me? Who will pray for me? Now Enoch goes into the third heaven. And those men took me then and led me up onto the third heaven, and placed me there. And I looked downward and saw the produce of these places, such as has never been known for goodness. And I saw all the sweet flowing trees, and beheld their fruit, which were sweet smelling, and all the foods borne by them, bubbling with fragrant exhalation. And in the midst of the trees that of life, in that place whereon the Lord rests, when he goes up into paradise. And this tree is of ineffable goodness and fragrance, and adorned more than every existing thing, and on all sides it is in the form gold looking, and vermilion, and fire-like, and covers all. And it has produced from all fruits. Its roots is in the garden of the earth's end, and paradise is between corruptibility and incorruptibility. And two springs come out which send forth honey and milk, and their springs send forth oil and wine. And they separate into four parts, and go round with quiet course, and go down into the paradise of Eden, between corruptibility and incorruptibility. And thence they go forth along the earth, and have a revolution to their circle, even as other elements. And here there is no unfruitful tree, and every place is blessed. And there are 300 angels very bright, who keep the garden, and with incessant sweet singing and never silent voices serve the Lord throughout all day and hours. And I said, how very sweet is this place. And those men said to me, this place, O Enoch, is prepared for the righteous, who endure all manner of offense, from those that exasperate their souls, who avert their eyes from iniquity, and make righteous judgment, and give bread to the hungering, and cover the naked with clothing, and raise up the fallen, and help injured orphans, and who walk without fault before the face of the Lord, and serve him alone. And for them is prepared this place for eternal inheritance. I'll go, there's a little bit more to read, but I'll go straight into the fourth. So Enoch, they took Enoch up on the fourth heaven, where is the course of the sun and moon. So this is chapter 11. So it says, those men took me and led me up into the fourth heaven, and showed me all the successive goings and all the rays of the light and of the sun and moon. And I measured their goings and compared their light, and saw that the sun's light is greater than the moon's. Its circle and the wheel on which it goes always like a wind going past with very marvelous speed, and day and night it has no rest. Its passage and return are accompanied by 4 great stars, and each star has under it 1,000 stars, to the right of the sun's wheel, and by 4 to the left, each having under it 1,000 stars, all together 8,000, issuing with the sun continually. And by day 15 myriads of angels attend it, and by night 1,000. And 6 winged ones issued with the angels before the sun's wheel into fiery flames, and 100 angels kindled the sun and set it alight. Let's go to where Enoch enters fifth heaven. Okay, of the taking of Enoch on to the fifth heaven. The men took me on to the fifth heaven and placed me, and there I saw many and countless soldiers, called Grigori, of human appearance, and their size was greater than that of great giants, and their face withered, and the silence of their mouths perpetual. And there was no service on the fifth heaven. And I said to the men who were with me, wherefore are these very withered, and their face melancholy, and their mouth silent, and wherefore is there no service on this heaven? And they said to me, these are the Grigori, who with their prince Satanael rejected the Lord of light, and after them are those who are held in great darkness on the second heaven. And 3 of them went down on to earth from the Lord's throne to the place Hermon, and broke through their vows on the shoulder of the hill Hermon, and saw the daughters of men how good they are, and took to themselves wives, and befouled the earth with their deeds, who in all times of their age made lawlessness and mixing, and giants are born, and marvelous big men and great enmity. And therefore God judged them with the great judgment, and they weep for their brethren, and they will be punished on the Lord's great day. And I said to the Grigori, I saw your brethren and their works and their great torment, and I prayed for them, but the Lord has condemned them to be under earth till heaven and earth shall end forever. And I said, wherefore do you wait, brethren, and do not serve before the Lord's face, and have not put your service before the Lord's face, lest you anger your Lord utterly. And they listened to my admonition, and spoke to the four ranks in heaven. And lo, as I stood with those men, as I stood with those And I said, wherefore do you wait, brethren, and do not serve before the Lord's face, and have put your service before the Lord, lest you anger the Lord utterly? And they listened to my admonition, and spoke to the four ranks in heaven. And lo, as I stood with those two men, four trumpets trumpeted together with great voice. And the Gregory broke into song with one voice, and their voice went up before the Lord pitifully and affectingly. Okay, so Enoch is taken onto the sixth heaven. And thence those men took me on, bore me up onto the sixth heaven. There I saw seven bands of angels, very bright and even glorious, and their faces shining more than the sun shining, glistening, and there is no difference in their faces, or behavior, or manner of dress. And these making the orders and learn the goings of the stars and the alterations of the moon, or revolution of the sun, and the good government of the world. And when they see evil doing, they make commandments and instruction, and sweet and loud singing, and all songs of praise. There the archangels who are above angels measure all life in heaven and on earth, and the angels who are appointed over seasons and years, the angels who are over rivers and seas, and who are over the fruit of the earth, and the angels who are over every grass, giving food to every living thing, and the angels who write all the souls of men, and all their deeds and their lives before the Lord's face. In their midst are six phoenixes and six cherubims, and six winged ones continually, with one voice singing one voice, and it is not possible to describe their singing, and they rejoice before the Lord at his footstool. 3 minutes, so I'm gonna try to read the up to the rest of the heavens that he's gonna go up into, and then end there. So Enoch is taken into the seventh heaven. And those two men lifted me up thence onto the seventh heaven, and I saw there a very great light, and fiery troops, and great archangels, and corporal forces, and dominions, orders, and governments, cherubim and seraphim, thrones, and many-eyed ones, 9 regiments, and lonet stations of light. And I became afraid, and began to tremble with great terror. And those men took me, and led me after them, and said to me, have courage, Enoch, do not fear. And showed me the Lord from afar, sitting on his very high throne. For what is there on the 10th heaven, since the Lord dwells here? On the 10th heaven is God. In the Hebrew tongue, he is called Aravat. And all the heavenly troops would come and stand on the 10 steps, according to their rank, and would bow down to the Lord, and would again go to their places in joy and felicity, singing songs and boundless light, with small and tender voices gloriously serving him. So the angels leave Enoch on the 7th heaven. Okay, I'm going to read here where the Archangel Michael led Enoch before the Lord's face. And this is on the 10th heaven. So on the 10th heaven, Aravoth, I saw the appearance of the Lord's face like iron made to glow in fire, and brought out emitting sparks, and it burns. I'm going to close here because my time is running out, but I'll continue it in the next. So have a good day. God bless. All right. Bye.